One greetings from the high 10. It is January 2nd, Saturday, 2020. Happy New Year to all of you. I would like to be very transparent in this said live. I'm going to probably get very gritty in this commentary. As most as most of you know who have followed me for a year, I don't sugarcoat anything. I shoot straight from the hip, and I bring you the 411, and I bring you the 211, and I bring you my commentary, and I always bring you a source to the said information. I'm going to discuss these kids. I wasn't going to discuss this case, but after watching some comments and response to my comments on other people's channels, I decided I wanted to talk about this case and break it down and chop it up because I'm the type of person, whenever I hear a story, it doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter if I know the people or not. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to start from the bottom and bring it to the top. I'm not going to bring it to you from the middle. I'm not going to bring it to you from the side. I'm going to chop it up from the bottom. Some of you may not like what I'm going to say. That's fine. If you want to unsubscribe, that's fine. Queen don't care. I don't sugarcoat nothing. And I think some of you have gotten lost when it comes to these stories, that your mind is somewhere else and you're thinking of obviously stuff you've gone through or something, that it clouds your judgment. It clouds your judgment. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that. Hello to everybody. I won't be addressing any of you right now because I want to get all this information off my tongue, and then we'll go into me answering your comments and all that. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I have a lot I want to say because some people out here need to hear what I have to say. So I want to get it out and be done with it. And then we'll go into the chat. Reward for information on missing California City boys up to $20,000. This is by ABC News 23. Since December 21st, the small community of California City has been searching for two missing toddlers. Wednesday, it was announced that a $10,000 reward was put forth to help find them. Now that the amount has increased, 23 ABC's Bane Froney explains what the community is doing to help find the boys. On this New Year's Eve, the California City community is still desperate for answers about the two missing boys, and Wednesday, local business owners announced that they are rewarding $10,000 for anyone who can find the boys. Thursday, they added another $10,000. Rick Jones and Amanda Adolph are the owners of few local businesses in California City, including the Greenstone Cannabis Retail Store, which is offering $10,000 reward to help find missing toddlers Orson and Orrin West. Now their company, Preferred Towing, is also offering $10,000. It's all in an effort to keep the community motivated in finding the two boys. Keep people motivated. Keep it in people's minds, said Adolph. I think it is always terrible to have to offer money for people to do the right thing and step up, added Jones. I agree. But we all know from history that that is what it is, and me and Amanda's goal is to find these kids one way or another. A vigil outside the house where the boys were last seen has grown larger throughout the past 2 weeks as the community continues to stop by and leave a gift, light a candle, and pray for the boys. As of Thursday, no arrests have been made, and there is no updated investigation according to the Cal City Police Department. But Adolph and Jones are organizing a search party for Saturday, 1 p.m. in hopes that those efforts will bring some answers. We want to keep this fresh in everyone's minds, keep everyone talking, because that is the only way they will ever be found, said Adolph. If you have any information regarding the missing boys, officials are asking that you contact California City Police 760 373 8606. Okay. This is information covering Kern County, 11:32 p.m., December 28th. Former BPD cop gives insight into missing California City boys case. A former cop breaks down the circumstances involved in the case of the missing California City boys. He says no one is ruled out as a suspect until the boys are found, not even the adoptive parents. And there is a reward poster out right now pertaining to the children. And as I state, these children were missing December 21st. There are no said information on a suspect, a lead, anything pertaining to these children. A lot of people talking about this on said social media. I'm just trying to make sure I'm bringing up everything pertaining to the kids. I'm going to get in my commentary. I've got 7 in the room, 5 thumbs up. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday in the new year. The Queen was so lost, she woke up, thought it was Sunday. And I told you yesterday in my live, I was going to church. Now, when was I going to church? I want to get greedy with you. If you don't think you can stand what I'm going to say, you can remove yourself from the chat. Matter of fact, you can check out of this video. Because I'm going to be honest about what I'm going to say to you. Hello, everybody. Hello. I just brought you a video about a woman in Chicago who abandoned her 7 children and just got bonded out of jail today on her own recognizance in Chicago, my home. And I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you. I want you to listen to what I'm going to say. Don't say nothing, just listen. 7 children abandoned in a vacant apartment in Chicago. I just uploaded the video. The judge let her go, felt sorry for her, obviously, because the children told the authorities the mother went to get a sink. The house didn't have appropriate heat. It had a stove burner heating the apartment, I believe, water running over, sewer backing up. Children were using the bathroom in the tub, but the judge let her go out of jail. A rabbi is helping her with a housing for in a hotel. The children are with other relatives. Now, one would have to ask themselves, where was the family before? Where was the family before? You see, I ask everything. I chop up everything. The reason why I brought you all the story about the 7 children and the mother being let go for a reason before I went live. You see, some of you all are hypocrites. Some of you all are hypocrites. Yeah, I'm saying it. You see, if we were to go to the bottom of that page and look at your comments about the 7 children abandoned in Chicago, what would be the first thing I probably would read? Why she do that? She terrible. What kind of mother is she? On and on. But in this case of the 2 black boys missing out of California, you all don't want to acknowledge the fact of how the children got to be in foster care in the first place. Yeah, I'm going there. You want to jump in the middle of a story. You feel like, well, we ain't going to worry about how they got there. What was wrong with the mother? What she was accused of to get the children taken from her in the first place. But you want to jump in the middle, in the side of the story, and say, well, they with this family. They're supposed to be responsible for the children. Now they're missing. And, of course, it is also stated that the police, I think the police chief says he suspects foul play. So what I ask you all is this. Why is it when you hear the story of a parent abandoning a child, you call them every dirty dog, you go look at their Facebook posts, you're trying to figure them out, you're trying to see what they've done, you waiting to see if they've ever been arrested, in trouble, blah, blah, blah. They're public enemy number 1. But in this case of the 7 children, she gets let go. But what would you say about her now? Like I said, you call every dirty thing in the book. Why she leave alone? Why she ain't got no family? Where she been staying? How long she been there? Blah, 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 blah. See, what I'm trying to make you all understand is, if you all had heard the original story with the mother and the fact that one child had a broken femur bone, which is the longest bone in your body from your hip to your knee. The boy had a broke leg. So that means somebody injured him severely to get the broke leg. Whether they pushed him, stepped on him, twisted it. The point is, somebody broke it. He didn't fall because he's already a toddler. He doesn't have far to fall to the ground. But yet I'm looking at comments on Facebook on the baby mother's page, the original baby's mother, the bio, I'm going to call it the bio. On the bio mom's page, everybody's crying and moaning about how they feel so sorry for her, prayers. But what's amazing to me is, had you heard this story on the news of the child's leg being broke and her 2 children being taken away from her. And she also has 4 children total that came out her womb. You know, Queen went on and researched. She'd be every dog. She'd be, oh, what was she doing? Why she leave her kids with Pookie, Ray Ray? Did she know this and this? Let me say this to you all. Stop jumping to the middle of the story. Stop bypassing the beginning of a story. We know 9 times out of 10 something foul happened with those kids in California with the West family. Something foul happened. What it is, I don't know. But 9 times out of 10, those people are probably responsible. If they're not, then we'll wait to see what the investigation shows. But 9 times out of 10, it could be these people. But what I find interesting is that some of you want to act like you don't care how the hell the kids got there. That you just want to bypass the baby's mother like she just decided to give her kids to these people. Well, she didn't, allegedly. Allegedly, her children were taken from CPS. And some of you want to talk bad about CPS, they dog, they this. You are doing just what's wrong with us now. You can't group everybody the same. You can't group the government as, oh, the government's this, the government's that. Oh, the blacks are this, the whites are this, the Jews are this. You're talking about one case out of California where children were taken from the mother. We don't even have all the evidence and information to why the kids were taken. Just something about a damn femur was broke. Stay woke. Stop jumping in the middle of a story and don't acknowledge how the hell the children got there in the first place. You don't find it odd if just them 2 that went missing? Them heathens had more children. And I went to Facebook this morning. The Queen didn't go to bed till daylight because I do my research. So people on Facebook got all kind of commentary. You don't know what's what. I'm just going to read off some of the comments. You come to your own conclusion. But something is not right with the fact of how the children got there in the first place. And you all need to acknowledge that and stop dicking around acting like this woman just took her kids and met these people at the Walmart and said, well, I'm having a hard time. Can you keep my kids? Something happened with the bio mother for the children to get placed with these nuts that got them who are now missing. The girl, the baby mother claims she complied with all the rules. She tried, but she never gives you a timeline. And you know, I'm one of those sticklers for timelines. Don't tell me you tried. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you did. Give me a timeline. Give me the date that your children were taken. Give me the date that the child had the incident with the babysitter or whomever. How long was your child in the hospital? What did the doctors say? What was in the doctor's report to CPS? Well, whatever, Paula. I'm not trying to address y'all right now, okay? What I'm trying to say is you have to start at the beginning. Some of you just don't want to acknowledge the fact that the kids were taken from the state. I don't sugarcoat stories on this channel. I don't sugarcoat nothing over here. I understand these people were responsible for the kids. I already know that. But what I'm saying is, I don't like the fact that a lot of you are hypocrites. Because if you had heard the story of the child with the broken leg before the West people ever got involved, the point I'm trying to make is you would be saying ugly things about the mother. You'd be saying, well, what happened? Did she know the people who were keeping her children? Blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the other. Was taken 11 days old, June 16th. Okay. So obviously, the first child was already out of her custody, and then they took the newborn. That's the point I'm trying to make to you all, is that there was a reason that the children were taken in the first place. Whether you believe the version or not, that's up to you. I can't say what CPS did wrong. I can't say what the mother did wrong because I don't know the whole case. But what I don't like is you all acting like this woman just handed her kids over, expected these people to do right by her and take care of her kids, and now they're missing. What I'm trying to say to you is, if you scratch out the West people What was the reason the children got gone in the first place? That's all I'm saying. And that most of you, if you first heard this story and it made the news, that a child's femur bone was broke and he's an itty bitty spider, you would say to yourself, well, damn, somebody did something cruel to that kid. What I'm trying to say to you is you don't know the baby's mother. You don't know the extent of what happened to the children. You don't know if she's had other problems with CPS. You don't know if other people have called. You don't know if she's been investigated before. You don't know if she's been in jail. You don't know if she's been arrested. You don't know if she was keeping company with bad people, which led to the fact that the child's leg got broken in the first place. That's all I'm saying. RP, you telling me something that I'm already saying in my commentary. I just said, I don't know the case, period, with CPS, why they took the kids or the mother. What I'm trying to say is people are acting like the mother didn't do anything. What I'm trying to say is I'm not getting ready to say and jump on nobody's bandwagon because I don't know that lady. All I'm saying is the children were taken for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. And some of you are jumping on, going off about CPS, they're cruel, they take people's children. Let me tell you something. Because I keep telling you people, you don't know me. When I speak and give my opinion, I speak from experience. I know about DHS and dealing with DHS. Listen to me good. RP TV, let me tell you something. I'm not here to argue with you, and really you don't even have to stay in the chat because I already told you all I'm not getting ready to do this. This is my channel. I say what the fuck I want over here. What I'm saying is, if you never heard about the West family having the damn kids, most of you would be rude and talking bad about the mother, about what happened and why, who did what to her kid. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, all I'm saying is, I don't know what to think about how the children got there. I'm just one of them type of people. I'm analytical. I chop up everything. I chop up everything. I don't know what happened with CPS. I don't know what the report was. I don't know if the children were taking Johnny on the spot when the child had the leg broke. RPRITV, kiss my black ass. How about that? This is my fucking channel. I'll say what the fuck I want over here. This is my channel. I run this right here. Don't nobody run nothing over here. The point I'm making is a lot of people don't like to assess the situation from the bottom. We know the West were responsible for the children. That's a given. But what I'm saying is, how did they get to the West house? That's all I'm saying. And that even if the West weren't involved and the lady had her children originally, if the story broke on the news, most people would be like, oh my God, what happened? Who were the people keeping the children? Da, 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 da. Because I see it all the time. When something bad happens to kids, people are always wondering what was up with the parents. And I just feel like you all are giving the mother a pass and not ask yourself, well, what really happened with the children? Because what you have to remember is CPS is going to investigate. They will make the decision. A judge will make a decision on what the workers bring to the table about what happened to the children. All I'm saying is a lot of you all are just hypocrites. You like to jump in the middle of a story and you don't like to acknowledge a whole story. It's no different than when the children go missing outside and then people start bringing you information, just like the McKinney case. Everybody wanted to put on the back burner how the damn child got missing. Then we start hearing little things from Facebook. The hell, the child been left outside. But nobody wants to talk about that. How the child got missing. Oh, yeah, we know. She was kidnapped. She was harmed. She was abused, dumped in a dumpster. But nobody wants to acknowledge how the hell the child got kidnapped. That 9 times out of 10, the child's been left outside. That's all I'm saying. And stop jumping in the middle of a story. Because my thing is this. If the bio mother had adequate help with her children, when the issue came up that they wanted to take the children out of her custody, why couldn't the children have been placed with a relative? So I go to Facebook and I read all these comments from the sister who says, We tried to get them. Some of us were approved, but at the last minute, they were taken from them. And it's not that we didn't want them. And they were placed in custody. And it was a 5-minute rule from this worker who just got on the case after 5 minutes of being on the case. See, my thing is also nobody's giving a timeline of from the time that the children were found abused, broke leg, to the time the child was in the hospital, to the time that the girl went to court. How long was it? That's all I'm asking. How long was the process? Because if you go to AV News, he gives a clip from the California Department, Children's Services, and the lady's basically telling you that even when the children are placed in custody, they give the parent to them ample enough time to try to get their children back if the judge deems them fit to try to get their kids back. So that's what I'm saying. Was it an automatic, you can't get the little boy back? Now you have another baby, we're taking that kid. That's all I'm saying. Was it automatic? Or did they give her time to try to do whatever she needs to do as far as taking courses, classes, woo, woo, woo? I'm just curious to the time frame. And all I'm saying is a lot of you all, when you see these stories about children being abused, whether in the company of their parent or the parent left them with somebody, you come down on the parents. You say stuff about the parents. You'll be, oh my God, that's terrible what they did to their baby. Woo, 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 woo. But now in this case, the kids were taken out of custody of a mother and given to these crazy people. And now the children are missing. Nobody wants to say anything about how the kids got there in the first place. That's all I'm saying is why nobody wants to discuss how the children got there. What's wrong with asking how they got there? I just don't understand how nobody don't want to ask the pertinent questions. I already know the kids live with these people allegedly. I'm not taking any responsibility away from the people who had custody. I just view things differently than most of you. I chop everything up. I want to know how everything started. I don't jump in the middle of a story and just say, well, yeah, them people did something or they didn't do something. I'm just wanting to know, right. Thank you, Melissa, because Melissa knows the queen. Because these other folks jumping on this channel, bringing their 2 cents in and don't know a damn thing about the queen, don't know a damn thing about what the queen's been through, don't know that the queen has personal dealings with foster care. The system has worked with agencies to take care of children, mentally challenged men. I've worked with drug addicted men. I've worked with children in group homes, both males and females. So can't nobody tell the queen nothing about nothing. You can't tell me about foster care. You can't tell me about the system. Right, pallets and pugs, that's my point. I'm not saying the mother abused her kid. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is it needs to be understood how the kids got there, because this is a sick case. If indeed these people did harm the children, that they left one place and got placed in another place where the damn children end up getting harmed. That's my point. So I analyze everything. This isn't a case where you hear the parent didn't want their child, woo, 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 and then the state took their kid. Then these people got the kid. Okay, that'd be open shut. But allegedly, the woman wanted her children. She's crying on TV saying she wanted her, she loved her children. She tried to make contact. There's an issue with something about Christmas gifts, giving. She tried to give gifts with her and her mama, but they were denied. But like I told somebody, I just went to the Facebook page and saw out her own mouth, that wasn't this year. That was 2018. So now, come on with it. Why would you mention that? See, this is what I keep trying to tell you all. The queen chops up everything. I look at everything. You may not care what happened to the kids before. Your only focus is, well, they're missing right now from these people. I get all that. All I'm trying to assess is how they get to this place. Because see, what a lot of you don't want to realize is that there's a start and there's a finish. And these demons didn't have to get this kid if indeed they harmed the children. Let me say that, allegedly. If shit was right over here. And I'm not saying CPS couldn't have made a mistake with the assessment of what happened to the little boy. But I'm not also reading the medical report of what happened to the little boy. Do I know what was in the medical report? Do I know what the doctor saw in the x-rays of the little boy? Is it possible that the child had other injuries? See, don't nobody think about stuff like that. You just want to focus on, well, they over here, they got missing from these people. We ain't worried about what happened to them back over there with their mama. She's obsolete. She don't count. But she do count. Because who's to say, allegedly, she didn't comply with the rules to get her kids? Because the state says, California, they give these people ample enough time to get their children back if they are allowed to get them or want their kids back. So what I'm saying is, the children were in their West house for 2 years before being adopted. So why would it take a mother 2 years to regain custody of her children? That's all I'm saying. What was in the report by the doctor given to CPS for the judge to say, let me take your child. Oops, let me take your second child. Oops, she has a total of 4 children. You ain't heard nothing about that. What happened to those other 2 children? So don't come over here trying to tell the queen how she feel and who she coming down on. Right. Because some of you didn't know that. You sitting here looking at her talk about them 2 kids and standing outside that house. But you go to her Facebook page, Queen got 4 children total. 2 are now missing that are not in her custody. And when you go to her Facebook page, you'll see another boy who looks like he's about 8 or 9 years old. I didn't see a picture of a girl because as you scroll up, it only gives you so much of her Facebook page because naturally, I guess the page is locked. So you only get a few pictures off her photo on her page. But the first few photos are all pictures of the babies when they were newborns and infants and toddlers before they got took. Hey, Melissa, I'm not worried about nobody hiding behind no emojis. You jumping over here on this channel, you don't even have a damn picture of your damn face up for your profile. So you know the queen does not give a damn. Period. I don't care. All I'm saying is, right. Thank you, Pallets. Let me read that out to the people. To get your kids adopted is a huge undertaking and does not happen overnight. They also give parents avenues to regain custody of their children, especially 2 kids. Pallets and pugs. Thank you for saying that. That's what was made in the AV News video on YouTube. In the clip piece, the state people are talking, and that's what they're saying. They don't just hand your kids over to be adopted after they've been put in custody of the state. It's a process. It's also a long process for somebody to adopt your children. If I'm not mistaken, it said 18 months. They go through background checks, mental evaluations. But we also know mental evaluations don't mean anything either because anybody can fudge some questions that they ask you 3 different ways. Kind of like the questions they give you on jobs. Do you think taking things from the store is wrong? Would you tell on your buddy if you saw him stealing out the store? Or how do you feel about coming to work on time? Them type of questions. You understand what I'm saying? They give you them 100 questions or whatever for jobs, the military, people wanting to be foster parents, adoptive parents, but it doesn't mean you can't give the answers that they expect you to give. And we already know from dealing with law enforcement, people will say anything on those tests. Candace, stop now. But I don't care. I'm 29 minutes in. Thanks for joining me. I got 17 in the room, 18 thumbs up. I'm just saying that a lot of you all are just, okay, Palace think the children were sold. I'm just telling you something is just not right with the whole story itself. And what I'm saying is, I think it's sad that whatever happened with those children and the mother and CPS, I do not know. Let me say that because some of you want to jump on here like you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Excuse me for cussing, but I don't like nobody coming over here trying to tell the queen about what the hell point she trying to make. I can say what the hell I want, but this is my channel. I don't know what happened with the children. I don't know the assessments made. I don't know if the judge rendered an automatic, you can't get your kids back day one when the state got involved. I don't know. But allegedly the little boy was in ICU. So that should tell you something how bad the damn injury was. Whether she was there or not. The point is, who's to say what the judge was feeling when he said, nah, I'm not sending no kid back there. Hell no. And you can't get mad at the judge for saying that, even if the mother wasn't there. Because what he's thinking or she's thinking, for those of you who act like you got a bright bulb in your head, the judge gonna say, well, you may not been at fault. You may not have broke your child's leg. But I don't know that you're gonna pick the right person again to babysit your kids if I send him back after he heals up when he gets out the hospital. You didn't think about that? Because the judge has a responsibility as well. And we know that CPS is a failed system all around the board, but we don't know all the logistics of the case. The judge is rendering what was found in the medical report given to the judge for the judge to make a decision. We have no idea. And that's all I'm saying. Did the mother comply with the rules to get the children back? What was originally in the report? Was it an automatic, you can't get your children back? That's all I'm saying. We're not hearing none of that because she's not telling that. Everything is open-ended. It's not a definite. On this day, my baby was hurt. On this day, I got a letter from them saying I got to do this, 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 and this. This is what the judge told me I had to do. This is what the judge said. Do you understand what I'm saying? Here are the receipts of what I did to get my kids back. This is the response letter. Now you see where I'm going. People can tell you anything. The children were placed in foster care with a Trevor and Jacqueline West, both in their 30s. This is by 17 News NBC. It was reported that Jacqueline and Trevor West made a report of 2 missing children at 6 p.m. By 8 p.m., there was a news release by the police department, California City, that the children were missing. It is stated in this report for 17 News that the dogs did not hint of a scent outside of the house, only inside. California City is 70 miles east of Bakersville, and it has 14,000 residents. No scent hit from the dogs of the children leaving the house. It is stated that the children, by words of the parents, that the children were playing outside on the back porch with chalk, and the father went to get firewood, and he left the gate unlocked. Went back in the house, I guess, to take the firewood back inside. We come back out, the children are gone. Ryan Dean is the biological mother who lives also in the state of California. It is also stated that she came up to the scene with 2 biological fathers of the children. But yet, when you see interviews of Miss Ryan Dean, you do not see any footage of the said baby daddies. Why is that? What is the truth with Ryan Dean and what happened to her children to be placed into foster care and then adopted? Why weren't the children given to the father? Since we now know the 2 fathers showed up to the scene with the mother, but we do not see the fathers on camera. Why couldn't the fathers take the children in? Why couldn't the fathers go ask one of their relatives, mothers, fathers, granddaddy, somebody, could they step in? Why weren't the children placed permanently with Ryan Dean's family? She's saying, the sister saying that the children were placed with one of them, but a quick decision was made by a newer social worker who came onto the scene and decided that it was best that the children stay in the foster care with the West family. It is said that agents took several bags from the house and a duffel bag, which is evidence gathered from the scene. What are the ages of the children on the posters of the missing children posters that have now been posted all over America? The children look awfully tiny and small in age. What are the professions of the West? Where do Mr. and Mrs. West work? We learned from watching on the Chris Thorne show, him talking to the lady who owned the house before, that there was an issue with the loan. I'm going to get to all that, baby. There was an issue with the loan, taking too long for them to secure a loan. And I also wonder why that woman would even keep going forward with trying to sell her house to these people when they couldn't get a loan secured. Once your bank lets you know, hey, these people can't secure a loan for the house, why would you still go into trying to sell the house? That's very odd to me. The lady stated in talking with Mr. Chris on the Chris Thorne show, it took 100 days for the process to go through for them to secure a loan and for her to get the money. Very odd to me. Paprika Dean is her social Facebook page name, the biological mother. And as I stated, you see one picture of an older boy and a picture with her. And she has a total of 4 children, a girl, a boy, and the 2 that are currently missing out of California City, California. It is also mentioned on her Facebook page that Sincere is deaf. And she's talking about how well he was doing when he was going to some lady, I guess, I don't know if she was teaching him or teacher or what her position is, but that is on one of her Facebook posts that he was doing well. So know that. We didn't even know that. Because she states he was learning sign language by the age of 1. So anybody with sense would say the child obviously was deaf to be learning sign language. Sincere was. Okay. A lot of people had different comments on Facebook. You come to your own conclusion what you think happened to kids. We don't know what happened to the kids. I don't know. Let me make that clear in this video for some dodo bird that wants to jump on, try to tell the queen how to think, what she should think. I don't know what happened to the children with their mother. I don't know what CPS did. I don't know the medical reports that were given to CPS and the judge. I don't know if the mother actually complied with trying to get her children back. But I do know the children were in the West home for 2 years before they adopted them. And the state says it takes at least 18 months to process a legal adoption with rigorous background checks, mental evaluations, hours of training, all of that. And they also go back to the home, ting, after children have been placed with a legal adoption. Workers, social workers go back to the home after the children have been adopted. Know that. Some people on Facebook are saying they think the children never made it to this California City residence. So what I ask you is, where were the family living beforehand? Where did the children live and reside with the West California City? Was it the state of California? Was it around the corner? City over? Where was the West living before they moved to this said house where the children have currently been moved where they're living? Because a lot of you are saying you think the children never went to that house. One girl made a comment saying, I think the dog is picking up on the scent of old clothes. Interesting. Just saying. I'm just throwing out what people are saying on Facebook commentary. And the report from Channel 17 News tells you the dogs did not pick up a scent on the outside. So that means the children had belongings inside the house, or they were in the house and that was the last scent from the house, not outside, not the gate. So for those who want to say they could have ran outside, lured from the gate, Tracy, I don't know anything, honey. That's the point of the story, see. You only have bits and pieces that the authority are giving you. You don't have bits and pieces that the biological mother's giving you. You don't have no said commentary from somebody's mouth close to the family that can give you some type of information to how the children got here, how long they sat in these people's care, which we already know 2 years, why the mother couldn't get her children back, who actually saw the children going and coming out the house. It is alleged that somebody saw the children being brought out. Then now it's been elaborated that the children was possibly wrapped in a blanket or something, carried out from a neighbor's camera. What is the truth? Because somebody needs to say something. But maybe the police is telling the neighbor who has the camera, don't say nothing to the public. Don't post nothing, don't say nothing, because you will hinder the investigation. And it is what you're seeing, what you think you're seeing. Because allegedly, the people had a total of 6 children. So if you see somebody coming out with a children, do you know which children you're seeing the West come out and put into the van? Y'all see where I'm going? It is also alleged on Facebook the other children were with the grandmother on vacation. So now one could say, if that is true, allegedly, why were these children left behind and not gone with the grandparents? Is that true? Since the mother alleged to her statement to the news, she was wrapping gifts, or the husband's statement is she was wrapping gifts while he was tending to the firewood. So some of you are questioning, well, where were the other children while she was wrapping the gifts? Well, Facebook says the children were with another grandmother. Hi, TG, baby. How you doing? Love you, baby. Happy New Year. So there are a lot of questions. But like I said, I just feel like a lot of you all are hypocrites when it comes to these stories about these children going missing, stories of the children being abused. You say one thing when you hear bad stuff about a child being abused, or the mother abandoned the kids, or they found the kids in deplorable conditions. They every dirty dog, they every this, they every this, they every that. But now with this case, you have knowledge that the children were taken from the mother. Nobody wants to ever focus on, like, well, why these children get taken? This is really odd that the children get taken from the mother, but then they get placed with these people, stayed in their care for 2 years. The people decide to adopt them. Now the kids are missing. And you say now, no, we don't want to talk about what happened with the mama. That ain't the subject. The subject is these people. They had the custody. I know that already. I'm not dumb. I'm just trying to make you all understand that if the West were never involved, you all would have said ugly things about this woman had you heard the story in the news that her child's damn hip to his knee was broke. I don't know, Tracy. You can't ask me nothing about why somebody got so many damn kids. Hell, the sister say she got 9 kids. So I guess they like making babies. I don't know. But as I tell you all, I shoot straight from the hip over here. I don't sugarcoat nothing. You don't have to like nothing that I say. And since TG is in the chat, she can say personally, we called living hell for talking about Camille McKinney last year. The mother put up nasty memes of us on her Facebook page. But see, those things don't bother me because I sleep good at night. Because I feel like this. My life ain't on Front Street. My business ain't on Front Street. Ain't nobody talking about me on the book. Ain't nobody talking about me on the news. Ain't nobody talking about my kid. Ain't nobody talking about no baby daddy. None of that. None of that. So it doesn't matter. And this is what you all don't seem to understand. When you tell me I'm coming down hard on the biological mother of this case, it don't got nothing to do with the West. Well, guess what? You got to have a start. And whatever the hell happened with the baby mother and her 2 children in the state is the reason why the children got placed over here and now they're damn missing. And you can't tell me you don't find it odd that the state decided to pick these people to take these children in, thinking they gonna do right by the kids, and now they're missing. And I don't know if these people did something to the child. Let me say that. All I'm saying is it's odd. How could you not think it's odd? that a child would get a broke ass leg or knee. For those who don't know what a femur bone is, it stretches from your hip to your knee, the longest bone in your body, and that's what was broke in baby Sincere. So you imagine a child that's only a little bitty person getting that whole damn leg broke, femur bone broke, and was in ICU. And you gonna tell me you don't think that's serious? Okay. I'm not a judge. And I don't see what goes before a judge. Okay, TG saying there's a child been missing since December 4th and was found murdered December 12th. Yeah, and I'm hoping it gets some information about that. Okay, Palace says it is extremely hard to break that bone. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I told Chris that last night, that I remember when my mother was sick, well, basically was dying of cancer. My sister said, this is how I remember the femur bone. The cancer had spread to her femur. And I remember my sister saying her hip. So that's when I went and Googled it. And it says the femur bone is from your hip to your knee. And it's a long bone, the longest in your body. So now imagine a little bitty person getting that bone broke. You know they didn't fall. The only way that damn bone would break is if the child fell out of a fucking window. Or somebody was throwing you around, stomping on you. Do you get my drift now? And so perhaps the judge got the medical report, and who knows what else was in there. And if there was other evidence of broken bones, bruises, lacerations, and the judge said, hell no, I'm not sending that baby back there with her, whether she was at home or not. Well, Tracy, some crazy person from another channel coming over here, or whoever he is, TV, KPR TV, I don't know who the hell he is, you coming over here trying to tell me I'm mad at the mother, I'm this. First of all, you worried about the wrong thing. This is my channel. I say what I want over here. I say what I want over here. You don't run nothing over here. I say what I want. And I'm the type of person, I don't sugarcoat stuff. I don't jump in the middle of a story and then just stick there and say, well, I'm going to write it out from the middle. I don't do business like that. I always start at the beginning. So my thing is, who the fuck are you mad at? You mad at what? The fact that what? The judge took the lady's kid. She lost custody of her kid. And then the judge and the state picked these people and put the kid in their custody. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I wasn't raising the baby. I didn't leave the baby with somebody and allegedly somebody broke my baby's leg. And then the state got involved after I took the baby to the hospital because the baby was allegedly acting funny. And then the judge made a rendering to take my child and my other child from me. And you all don't find it odd that also the other baby got taken? An infant got taken out of custody. And that's why I asked somebody last night, what's the timeline between Sincere being taken versus the infant being taken? But nobody wants to address that because they don't got nothing to do with over here. Well, whatever happened with her and her kids over here, they ain't got nothing to do with over here. Well, why don't it? Why doesn't it? Why you don't want to know about what happened with the lady and her kids? Because you see, what happened with her and her kids is what led to her kids getting over here to the West House. And now these people are standing in front of the news trying to tell you what the hell they were doing on the 21st, which led to 2 little babies missing. Thank you, Chi-Chi. It must have been a big deal for the children to be taken. And you know, what are the odds of 2 children being kidnapped at the same time? Now, some of you think it's human trafficking. Some of you think somebody took the children. They could have been kidnapped. Some of you think that the parents sold the children to human traffickers. But as I state, I don't know what happened to those children. I don't know if they were lured from the yard. But I also know that what is being said about kids is not accurate. And like I say, I take you back to the Camille McKinney case, where Dominic tells the world, Cupcake ain't that kind of girl to go off with a stranger. Well, she did, if you ain't the one that she left with. And the state is saying that it was Derica and Patrick. So why are you going to say what a child will do? Children will go if they're curious. Your child like Peppa the Pig and Pookie shows up with Peppa the Pig products, toys, and you going to tell me your child wouldn't go follow him or her? Come on now. Okay, Jesse is now saying the same thing about the femur bone. It is one of the hardest bones in the body to break. But that's what I'm saying. When you're dealing with a child, a little bitty person that's 2, 1, their body's already fragile because they're itty bitty. So it wouldn't take much to break anything on a child because they're smaller. They're not 15. They're not 15. So you already know 9 times out of 10, somebody yanked, pushed, stomped something to the child. Threw them around, they did something. Because you're already little, you don't have far to fall. Let's say he was running and he tripped. Well, he's already a toddler. So if he falls to the ground, he doesn't have far to fall because he's already a little person. So obviously somebody broke the damn baby's leg. And who am I to argue with the damn doctor? The doctor saw something. They have x-ray machines. Do you know what else was found wrong with the baby? No, you don't know. And that's the point I'm trying to make in my video today, is that we do not know what happened with the mother. We do not know if these children have been abused, the child was abused beforehand, what was found in the x-rays, what led the judge to make a decision. Did he make a rash decision to say automatically they can't go back? He can't go back. Or did he say, well, we found this, you're going to have to do this, this, and this, ma'am, to get your kids back? See, we don't know all that because the mother's not giving a timeline on what actually happened with her kids being taken in a timeline. And I always say, if a person won't give you a timeline, 9 times out of 10, it's something suspicious. That's just who I am. That's how I rock. Because I can tell you, most people who wanted their kids back and are heartbroken about what has happened right now in the situation, they're going to be glad to tell you, let me see what I did. Let me show you the proof. Let me show you the letters. Let me show you the coursework I went through. Let me show you the certificate I did. They sent me this letter saying I got to go do this, this, and this on this day. Boom, let me show you where I went. Let me show you what I did to get my kids back. That's all I'm saying. Right, TG. They fight for their kids. And we don't know that. And some of you want to judge me now for saying, well, you coming down on the mother. Okay, Katina says she don't think she did everything the state wanted her. That's why I'm sitting here trying to tell you. There's a video uploaded with the state talking about their policies in California. And they're telling you, a white woman is talking to the camera. We just don't take the kids. It's a process. It's a process when they're placed in foster care. She said there's a long process to even adopt the children. And what I find interesting is the mother tells the news people she had rights. No, Queen, you don't have no rights when your children have been legally adopted. No, you don't. Now I don't believe that. It is up to the family who adopts your child if they want to let you see, visit, get pictures, talk to the kid, all of that. Once the family goes up to talk about adopting the baby, and or the state goes to them to say, we haven't got compliance from the parents, nobody's stepping up to take the child, or all rights have been taken from the parents, would you like to adopt these 2 little boys? Then the parents will go forward with the process of adopting the children. And I don't think none of you out there in La La Land are even focusing on the fact that the children were with these people for 2 damn years before they even adopted the damn babies. So that lets you know they were there as itty bitty spiders. You're only talking about 3 and 4. I know y'all can subtract. You can subtract, can't you? They were there first for 2 years. 2 years. That's all I'm saying. I got 26 in the chat, 28 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Super Chatter Queen, if you feel like it. I sure don't mind. Thank you, TG, for joining me. TG, you got to holler at the Queen. I need to holler at you. Yeah, I do. I'm glad you all joined me. Like I said, you entitled to your opinion. Whoever Pookie is must have done you wrong. Shut up. Why? Because I say Pookie and Ray Ray is just an analogy. You know I don't know nobody by the name of damn Pookie and Ray Ray. I'm on IG, Big Sexy 71, TG, if you got IG. You can video chat me over there. Okay, Katina, that woman, I believe, was, I don't know if that's the woman that's standing next to her in the interview. But yeah, it was said that the children were with another woman. But the sisters on Facebook saying they had the children, and then a new worker got on the case and took the children and said they'd be better off with the West family. So see, what's the timeline between that? When was the children last with Miss Ryan Dean's family before being placed in foster care? And why did the social worker think her family wasn't fit to keep the kids? Because the sister says on Facebook, well, it wasn't that we weren't fit or nothing. They just got a new worker. The case got a new worker, and she felt it was best. Okay, but still, what are you trying to say? That she made a rash decision? She didn't investigate thoroughly? Well, you know you can always appeal any decision ever made with the state. Everybody knows that if you've ever dealt with DHS. Any dealings with DHS has an appeal process. And they will send you a damn... She said that's not how CPS works. What you mean, Palace? What you mean, baby? What I'm saying is, anything you do with the DHS, I don't care if you're dealing with them about custody, food stamps, anything they give you that's a negative rendering, they will send you a letter and tell you you have so much time, 7 days, 10 days to comply with the information that they're giving you. Let's say they turn you down for something, food stamps, or there's a hearing about your children or whatever. They're going to send you a legal document. Everybody knows this. And it will tell you can appeal this decision. Right. And even if, like I said, even if it's the judge made a rash decision on that day, he got the case. She still could have appealed and said, well, I want to appeal this decision. You taking my child away from me because I wasn't there. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not saying what happened with the judge, because as I state, ain't nobody telling us nothing. So how the hell you want to come over here and get mad at me because I'm saying, what did the medical report say? What did the judge say? Did the judge give an automatic, you can't get them back? Or did he say, hey, you got to do this, this, and this to get the kid back? That's all I'm saying. And I'm also saying that there's a start to a story, such as the story I just uploaded about the 7 kids abandoned in an apartment in Chicago. Now, the judge just let her go today on her own. And most people probably would say, oh, she left her kids there, woo, woo. Why she do that, blah, blah, blah. Talk about her bad. But, the child says mama left to go get a sink. So some people can argue. Is it true? Is it not true? And that's the point I'm trying to make in correspondence to this case here. That if you first hear a story of a child being abandoned, like the little boy in Ohio, abandoned at the cemetery, I just uploaded that video telling you about that update. He's now with his father. First thing you all thought, first you see the comments, everybody cussing and fussing. Why'd she leave that baby out there? Oh, yeah, wet clothes. Oh, she left him with a dog. What palette? I'm trying to talk and look to one. My brain is 12 different places, baby. But you see, you hear all these stories, and the first thing people do is they get upset when they hear the children are abandoned. You get upset. So why is it in this case of the 2 missing boys in California, some of you want to act like you don't want to discuss what happened with them before they got to the West House? Oh, okay, Palace, you okay? You know, people gonna disagree with me. Excuse me, sinuses, honey. People gonna disagree with me. I get that. But the point of my video today is to show you that in the beginning of a story, people go off when they hear the children are abandoned. Let me say, so some of you who don't understand my point, like the dodo bird who jumped on earlier. When you hear terrible things about children being abandoned, the first thing you think, wow, what happened? Okay, Lady Chi don't think she put up a fight for the kids. You hear, oh, they was abandoned. People jump to conclusions. Oh, they were left alone. Oh, they didn't have food. Oh, they didn't have diapers. Oh, there was boo-boo and this and that running out the tub. All that type of stuff. You be mad, some of them, let's say. So what I don't understand is if you'll get mad hearing the children were abandoned in a house, a shed, a barn, a trailer, filthy conditions, no running water, no food, no refrigerator, no nothing. Why are you all now on Facebook telling other people, y'all don't need to worry about what happened to the kid over here with the mama, how they got to. That's irrelevant. Just focus on the West, because they the ones that got the kids now. I'm confused. Because like I said, had you heard of the case with the mother and the child in the beginning, and it made the news that the little boy's leg was broke, you'd be hooping and hollering and cussing and fussing. No, don't send that baby back. Don't send that baby back. What happened? Okay, well, she may not have been there, but who had the baby? How long she known her? Has the baby been abused before? What did the medical report show? Did it show that he'd been beat up before? But now, you want to put all that on the back burner and say, I don't want to talk about that now. We just want to talk about where they were, who the people had them now. Chi says they're all unfit. That's the point I'm trying to make of this video. Is how is it you all can rally and go off on the parents when they abandon their children, when you hear the ugly stories. But in this case, you don't want to talk about how the children got abused, allegedly, with the bomber to get to the West House. I'm not taking away from the West. But we also don't know what the West did to the kids, if they did anything. We don't know nothing yet. Yeah, it's how it looks. It looks bad. It's just them 2 little babies are gone. Allegedly, the other children were with a grandparent. I don't even know if that's true. That's just Facebook talk. I have no idea where those 2 little boys are. But I jumped on tonight because I was thinking about somebody talking crazy to me on somebody's channel. A comment I made telling me I don't know stuff about CPS. I'm naive. They're dirty. They're this. They're that. I'm not saying that CPS don't drop the ball. We already know they do. As I told you, I have much dealings with the State Department. I've worked with the state, taking care of other people's children in a group home setting. I am a healthcare worker, so I have worked with group home children who were placed in the state's custody. I've worked with boys, girls, mentally challenged men, and drug addicted men. So you don't come over here telling the queen about shit. You can't come to the queen and tell me what I don't know about foster care, what I don't know about the state, what the state do and don't do. I know the state's going to make mistakes. I know parents are going to make mistakes. And I know each case is not the same. What about the parents? And then you question, where are the parents? Hey, London B, Chi. I'm not trying to ignore any of you all, but I had so much information to get out in the chat. So that's why I wasn't talking when I first jumped on. I've been on here an hour now. I'm just a little pissed off. That's why I jumped on, because I felt like, it's easy for people to try to ignore the situation about these children. You all don't want to talk about the mother's, her plight to how her kids got taken. You just want to talk about what the West people did. Well, we already know the children are missing from the West house. That's a given. We already know this. Thank you, Tracy. Anytime. I'm glad you're doing well, baby. My thing is, I just wanted to know what actually happened with the children before. What fool would not want to know that? What fool would not want to know what happened to the kids before they got to the West custody? How could you not want to know? Like I said, I don't claim to know anything about what happened to the children when they were with Ryan Dean. I do not know what the judge rendered in his judgment. I do not know what the medical doctor took to CPS, which gave information from the social worker to the judge. But you have to question why Sincere was taken with a broke femur bone, and why her infant child was also taken, and the fact that she also has 2 other children. So why weren't those 2 children taken? Considering these 2 babies here are her youngest children allegedly. And that's just from watching Facebook. She admits to having 4 children. So where are her other 2 kids? Since Queen don't know what the fuck she talking about. Since y'all know more than what I know, and I'm down in the mama, well, where were the other 2 children when these 2 babies got taken? You think about this, since you don't want to talk about it? Well, I'm going to talk about it. Why would the state take 2 itty bitty spiders and not take the other 2 kids? I'll wait. They ain't got nothing to do with over here. They ain't got nothing to do with the West. The West people taking care of these people. Thank you, TG. I appreciate that. And TG, I wasn't gonna touch this story. I was gonna let the other YouTube channel holders, get their little 5 minutes of fame or whatever. But somebody made a little crazy comment to me on somebody's channel talking about I'm naive and I don't know about this and I don't know about that. And I thought, Heifer, you don't know me. You don't know what the Queen had been through. This Queen had a hard life, baby. And then whenever I get up on this microphone, I speak from experience. I don't live in no bubble. I don't live from watching Lifetime movies. Thank you, TG. I appreciate that. I don't live in no bubble. I live in a real world. I live in a real world where this happens. I've seen it firsthand. I'm around people every day who lose their kids, who have the state in their business, who have people calling on them. Some of it's factual, some of it ain't. Will people nitpick with you? Of course. Will people call your job to try to get you fired? Of course. We got grimy people out here. But you can say what you want about that baby mama. Ain't nobody called the state pretending his damn leg was broke and they found it was broke. Shit, you people need to wake up. They ain't got nothing to do with this. Whatever happened to her kids before? But you'll be the same people talking bad about the woman if you saw it on the news that the damn baby leg got broke. But now that these people got the keys and the keys are missing, now you want to put on the back burner, well, whatever happened with her in the past don't matter how she lost her kids. I couldn't believe the shit I was reading on Facebook. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. It doesn't matter what happened to your kids before or why your kids were taken. I'm sitting up here like, I know damn well y'all ain't sitting up there saying that. TG said, yes, it does. Y'all sitting up, I mean, go to the Facebook page and read it. When you log off of here, well, you ain't got to log off of here because we on these touch screens. You can watch me and still go to Facebook. Pull up Paprika Dean and read the comments for yourself. Just read the comments for yourself. Countless people telling this woman, it don't matter what happened with you and your kids. It's what's happened to them right now. I'm like, wow, okay, so you all don't even care about how the kids got over here to the West house at all. And I'm not trying to take away from what the West have done. We know that something bad has happened. We just don't know what exactly. Paprika, yes, P-A, what you got spelled, Paprike. I'm gonna go and tell her I'm gonna say YouTube, her Facebook name. I don't care, cause I don't have nothing invested with Ryan Dean. She's not my mama. She's not my sister. And if it was my sister or brother that did something grimy, I would say the same thing about them. What the hell is going on? Like I said, we all make mistakes. Nobody's a perfect parent. Nobody's a perfect grandparent. But you have to be lucid and watch your children. You have to be careful who you leave your children with. You have to be careful who you bring around your kids. We hear the stories every day. That's why I'm stunned that you all are on Facebook and around the world. Some of you may be in the chat. Some of you in the bushes listening, trying to act like it don't matter what happened to her kids before. It do matter. Because what happened to her kids is what got these kids with these people. How the hell you can't care? You all are the same ones that raise hell when you hear stuff about these kids getting abandoned. Oh, look at the mom and daddy. They pitiful. They trifling. They didn't feed the kids. They didn't keep the house clean. They was getting high. Now all of a sudden, they place, you got nothing. Paprika Dean, baby. Let me pull it up. Hold on. On my other device. I don't know. I just think, I'm just, I know sometimes I may seem hard on people, but like I say, I speak from experiences in life. I don't speak from story time movies and stuff. I just don't. I don't speak from story time, lifetime. I don't live in a bubble. And if you've gone through the things that the queen has gone through, you will then know why I have the opinions I have. Everybody welcome TG in the chat. She's in the chat. Here we go, everybody. This is who you're looking for. She's standing with a white t-shirt and an older child with a flat screen in the background. She's got on, okay. I'm sorry. Screen jumping off. Let me see. My apps don't never like to stay open. Hold on a minute, you guys. These devices, they just get so stupid. Oh, Lord, don't start. That is the biological mother of the two children who are currently missing out of California City, California. It is stating that she has 4 children. You can go to the Facebook page and read everything yourself. I don't have to read to you verbatim. Okay, TG. TG has found the baby mother's Facebook page. I'm just telling you, it's just a lot of things that just don't add up to me about the story. And I'm just one of them type of people. Wait a minute. Let me see what did Melissa say. Melissa says, I thought if you got other children that have been taken away prior, that any kid after was given to foster care as well immediately. And Melissa, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that I got this information secondhand about the second infant being taken after Sincere was taken. So once I saw on her Facebook page she had 2 other children, the first thing I thought was, well, them children obviously are older than these 2 that were taken out of her custody. Well, why weren't those 2 kids taken? So that leaves one to wonder, why would the state leave those kids there with her if you just took two of her children? Two. One of those two children even in her custody. Ting. You all think what you want to think. I don't really care what any of you think. I'm just gonna keep it real. You're entitled to your opinion. But I am the type of person, I digest everything that is said in a storyline. I start from the beginning and make my way to the end, if there is an ending. And I take in everything that is said in a news story. And then I bring you a source, like always. I bring you a source to a story. So you can't say the Queen made up anything in the commentary. And after I bring you a source to a story, I then give you my opinion. And basically, what I'm saying to you is my opinion. But what has been said out the own mother's mouth is her mouth via the news, via Facebook. And I'm only questioning the things that have come out of the mother's mouth. Not Pookie, not Ray Ray, not anybody but her own. Is it possible that she moved to another state? I don't know. We don't know anything. That's the whole point. We can ask 1,000 questions. You're not gonna know anything. That is the whole purpose of me making this video. Is that I don't know anything about this chick. I don't know anything about what happened with her and the last two children. I don't know anything about the other two children she has. I don't know if she still has custody of the other two. I don't know where the two children were when the state took the last two. I don't know why the baby daddies haven't stepped up to take their children in so she could at least be near her children. Why they didn't have family step up? Did they go ask somebody in their family to step up? Why couldn't they step up? Did they not have a place to live, a job? Because naturally, when you go before the state, you're going to have to show that you live somewhere and you have employment, or you draw some type of income to take care of a child. We know this. And I find it interesting that the baby's mother is talking to the news, but we don't see no baby daddy standing beside her to say, I'm such and such's baby daddy. And then the other guy would say, and I'm such and such's baby daddy. Because you know damn well, you stand in front of that news, them news people going to ask you, well, okay, where have you been? Where do you live? What do you think about the situation? And somebody in the background going to start chirping. Well, what happened to your kids? What happened to you not stepping up to, take care of your kids? They may not ask it right away, the news people at first, when the fathers would step up. But somebody going to ask. Why would they not ask? The mindset of some people just amazes me. Lord, listen to Melissa. Is she a witness in protection? She can't be in witness protection or she wouldn't be standing in front of the camera, Melissa. If she was in a witness protection program, she would not be standing in front of that camera talking about these children. I got 25 in the chat, 33 thumbs up. Thank you all so much for joining me on this live on a Saturday, because the Queen thought it was Sunday. I'm so behind. I do this every year. Holidays come, I can't even remember where I'm at, what days I'm on. Okay. TG said, reading her recent post, her aunt said they step up, but the judge made a decision to keep them home. You mean take them out the home, take them out the relative's house? And see, that's another thing. Who's the relative that took the kids? Who's the relative that the state placed the kids with and then took them back out? So that makes you wonder, why would the state take them out of your relative's house? They know you want your kids. You say you want your kids. You're trying to get your kids. A relative steps up to say, I'll take in your kids. She said, no. She said, go, keep. Okay. Let me see. I don't see no recent posts. What post you talking about? Only post I got is January 1st. It's a new year and I will live from this day forward for my boys and for my daughter and my oldest. And she said, devil, get up off me. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. It's amazing how people talk about Jesus and God when it comes to stuff about their kids. 26. December 26th. My page is acting up. It won't even take me past December 30th for some reason. Oh, Lord. I don't know. My page won't roll down for some reason past the 30th. Well, I don't know what to say, but this is an odd story to me, and nobody in their right mind who's lucid and woke can say they don't find this story peculiar of children being taken from their mother. It didn't work out with a relative to keep the kids. The kids stayed in the foster care of the West for 2 years before they even adopted the children. And now the children have been adopted, and now the children are missing. Who gonna tell me this ain't no whack-ass, weird-ass story? Come on. I don't need nobody to tell me how to think. Because I made it to 49 by the grace of God. And my birthday's the end of the month. And by the grace of God, I can still talk and jump on this microphone the 29th of January at 50. And you think I just got up here at 49 by accident? I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. Like I say, I don't claim to know anything about this lady, her baby daddies, her living situation, the judge, the CPS. I don't know anything about the West. But I know this is an odd story. And we do know of, let me say this, and I meant to say this earlier, children do end up getting abused in foster care. It is a known fact. It is a proven fact that children end up leaving a bad situation, and or it could be a situation that just the state deemed inappropriate. But we also know that the state don't really like taking kids. Some of you think the state likes taking children. Well, what I want you all to know, for those of you that think you know so much about the state, they don't have adequate housing for foster children. For those of you that want to talk so bad about what CPS will do to kids and don't do, I'm not saying CPS don't drop the ball. We know they drop the ball because a lot of children are being abused and they keep letting the children stay with their parents or the guardians or the foster care or whomever, or adoptive parent. But they don't want to take kids because they don't got nowhere to put them. Did you think about that? You just think there's just some bunch of homes sitting around waiting on some kids that have to be placed in foster care? You don't even know how many people are actually signed up in every town to foster a child. Do they have room to take the children in? Just like the case I just brought you of the 7 children in Chicago found in the empty apartment. All of a sudden now, they say the children with family. So what one would say is, well, hell, if you had family to find them once they were found in the apartment, why the hell the mama couldn't have found somebody to take them 7 in while she was trying to get on her feet? I keep telling you all, everything is in the details. You're in a vacant apartment with 7 kids. And when somebody called to say somebody in the apartment ain't supposed to be there, the police come and take the children. And then they say they place them with family. So one would have to ask themselves, why these same people not get involved, or did they not know that this woman was living pillar to post with her 7 kids? Why didn't this woman reach out to these same people to take her children in? Do you see what I'm saying? Think about the information that's been given to you. A lot of you don't think. You just jump to whatever conclusion, but you don't think of what has been said to you. And this case is, to me, no different. Somebody calls, state gets involved. They will ask you, do you have somebody that can keep your kids while the investigation gets concluded? You either say yes or you say no. And if it's a case that's severe, there is no talking. There is no placing the children with your mama, your sister, your cousin, your auntie. The judge will give an automatic rendering. Children are automatically taken, period. And they won't let them go to a relative if it's a severe case, because the first thing they'll say is, we don't want a chance of it happening again, and the mother having access to get to the children, to abuse them, especially if we don't know who actually abused the child. Just like I told you all. Because some of you think I don't know anything. She said she left her child with somebody while she was at work, and that's how his leg got broke. She come back, he acting funny. Did it ever occur to any of you, hypothetically, baby leg been broke? Baby leg been broke. Baby been having broken bones. Abused. Who's to say that the person who the child was last with broke the baby's leg? See, you don't know. Because you don't have CPS giving you the 411 or the report of what was found in the medical report. Who's to say the little baby ain't been getting abused by somebody or more than one person? See, you don't know. I'm not trying to make the mother out to be a liar. What I'm trying to do is make you think about the information that's been given. You don't know who was abusing the baby. They have yet to even tell you who she left the child with. So who was the child that had it? How long have you been letting that person watch your child? Had the child been already acting funny days before, but you just waited on this one day to take your child to the emergency room because maybe he was acting comatose, unresponsive. You see where I'm going? And you've heard many cases of children who are continuously abused. People wait to the last minute to take them to the hospital when the child is unresponsive. That's what she said, Melissa. That's what she said. He was acting funny, and she took him to the hospital. And that's when they found the broken femur. But what I'm trying to tell you all is, when you don't know everything, you have to just wonder. Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude. But I'm just saying, when you have cases of abuse such as this, a broken femur, that's pretty serious. So what I have to ask myself is, how did the child femur get broken? Obviously, the judge assumed somebody broke it. The child didn't do it on his own. So who broke it? Who's the person? How long have you been leaving that child with the said person? Is this a case of continuous abuse? Had the child been sick for days, weeks with the broken femur, and you just decided on this one day, take it? That's all I'm saying. You don't know. And I ask these types of questions. I don't just listen to a story and then repeat it back to you all and say, well, Channel 6 News says that the child was not feeling well and taken to the hospital, and now he's in protective custody, and end the video. I don't work like that. I ask all the questions that most normal people would ask. You know, what time of day? Who was the child with? Had the child been acting funny before? Have there been other cases of allegations of abuse? Has the state been called on her before? Have people called on her before? Does she have an arrest record? Has she been in trouble with the law? Does she have a lot of people living in her house? Does she leave her kids with different people? See, don't nobody want to ask none of that. I think I read a story. I don't know if I dreamt this or I heard this story once, of a child getting their head bumped. And somebody asked the father, Well, where's your child been to get such a bang on the head? And he's asking these people, the news, I guess, why you asking me that? Why you asking me where my child been? And who was the last person that had the child? See, that's the foolishness I'm talking about. Why would they not ask where your child has been? What you mean? Something happens to your child, they got a knot on their head, and you don't want to tell them where the child been? You don't want to tell who you leave your child with? See, when people act evasive about children, you know something is not right. And as I state, 2 children are currently missing out of California from the West home. Trevor West and Jacqueline West were the legal adoptive parents of these 2 little boys, who also names were changed. Did you all mention that in the chat? They had original names. I do find that interesting too, that the names were changed, because even as toddlers, the children know their names and they're going to answer to their names. Well, you know, Melissa, everybody thinks differently. Everybody assess a situation differently. People digest information differently. I see this all the time with true crime stories or incidents that happen every day. Nobody asks pertinent questions. People pick what they want from a story and dwell on it. This has been happening since the beginning of time. People pick what they want from the story and they dwell on it and run with it. They don't ever want to start at the beginning of the story. They want to jump in the middle, near the end, to the side of the story, but never want to focus on the beginning of a story. Every story has a beginning. And this story has a beginning only because the children were brought here by another human being. And that human being has been talking to the news. So therefore, you now have a face to the original person who gave birth to the children. So how could you not wonder what happened with the mother to get to the West home? Did she have any dealings with the West? Did she ever go visit her children? Did the West allow her to visit? The fact that she makes a comment about Christmas gifts being denied by she and her mother. But then when you go to Facebook, somebody asks her about that said comment, and she says, oh, that was December 2018. So people gonna think she just tried to give gifts last week. Are you following that? Are you following that? Why would you tell people, why would you tell the news, they denied us Christmas? They wouldn't even let us give them Christmas gifts. So y'all gonna be thinking it was last week. But it was not. It was 2 years ago. Probably right when the children got taken away. See, you have to listen to everything people say. Now, for those of you who would have never went to Facebook, you'd have never known that she was talking about 2 years ago, the West denied her Christmas gifts, her and her mother. So in her own mouth, she says on Facebook, it was 2018. Well, we just came out of 2020 Christmas. So why are you telling the news this story about being denied to give your children gifts when you know you didn't go there Christmas and you ain't trying to bring no gifts 2020 Christmas? See, I keep trying to tell you all, everything is in the details. Why would you tell people that story when you know it was 2 years ago? I'm just saying. I find that odd. I find it very odd. I find it odd that these fathers not speaking to the public about their children. That's what I'm trying to tell you all. When I think back to the Cupcake case, the reason there's so much flack with that case, so many other cases of children going missing and being found deceased, is because the parents are drama filled and they have so much mess going on. that they exacerbate the current situation, which is the child being missing and or found deceased. And so people run with all the rhetoric and the hype and the rumors and stuff. And it's sickening to me because the case is supposed to be about the child, the children, not their parents and all the crazy shit they got going on. But we live in a real world where people are tainted. They have problems and they stay in mess and mischief. So instead of the focus being the missing children, dead children, it's all about what the hell the parents been doing, what the parents been talking about, who the parents fell out with, who the parents don't like, how the parents were living, what the parents ain't been doing. And then it's like the child has gotten lost in the shuffle. They're lost. They're not even the subject anymore. It's about their stinking parents. And that's what's sad to me. And I think people don't want to acknowledge the fact that a lot of people don't need kids. They don't need the kids. They don't want the kids. And that's why you have all these terrible stories of children being abandoned and abused and molested and raped and trafficked sexually. It's because they were with the wrong people in the first place. You see, you have to have a start. Kind of like us. You didn't get to 50 by accident. You didn't come out your mama's womb at 50. Your mama didn't give birth to a full-grown woman. She didn't give birth to a full-grown man. She didn't give birth to a 12-year-old. Do you see where I'm going? You had to come here as an infant. So you had to start as an infant. So that's where life begins. Infancy. Till you leave here by death. Crazy to me. All these stories are crazy to me. I don't know what's going to come of this story. It's baffling to me. I stayed up all morning talking to somebody on the phone about the case, looking up stuff on Facebook. I couldn't rest because my spirit was, I could not rest because I'm like, I'm about to start feeling just like I did with Camille McKinney. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like the feeling at all. Because all I'm seeing is just black right now. Black. Because I'm looking at a case that started off bad with the kids being taken from the mother for whatever reason. Allegedly broken bone, femur bone in the child's leg. Then the other child taking the infant. Allegedly the woman said she did all she was supposed to do to comply with the state, but they took her kids anyway. The kids were with these people for 2 years. So naturally she had 2 years to at least try to get her kids back. Unless there was an automatic rendering from the state and the judge that she couldn't get her kids back. But we don't know because we ain't heard from the state. And they probably will never tell us the truth. So all you got is her version. Then we got these people who we don't know nothing about taking care of these kids. Then they got 2 other adopted children. Then they got 2 biological children. Then we hear that on Facebook, somebody says that the other children were gone with a grandparent. You don't know if that's true or not. You don't know if actually these kids ever lived in this new house. You all are stating that this house is fairly new to these occupants. But they've only been there 3 months. I haven't had verification that they've lived there. I'd have to go back to the original post on a news clip to say that the parents only lived there 3 months and where they actually derive from. What do they do for a living? Well, my thing is, I don't be on Facebook like that. I don't talk about nothing. I don't go live on Facebook. That's not my platform. Them folks on Facebook, they ain't talking about nothing. They don't want nothing, and they don't care about nothing. I'd be lucky if I had 5 people to sit and listen to me talk on Facebook. Hello, Sharon Hamner. How you doing? I just brought you all this because, as I stated, I was perturbed by a commenter basically telling me I didn't know anything about the system and CPS, and that's why I brought you all this video, because that heifer don't know me. She don't know nothing about the Queen. She don't know nothing about how the Queen live. She don't know where the Queen has worked and where I've worked. I've worked with the state before. I've done group home work as a aide in a group home. So that's why I say nobody can tell me nothing about the state and DHS, foster care, adoption. You can't tell me nothing because you don't know me. And you don't know what the hell I've been through in life, and you don't know where I work. So you can't tell me what the fuck I know about the damn system. Excuse my language, but I'm keeping it real. You all talk so much, you don't listen. And that's the problem with a lot of people. You don't listen to anything. You take what you want from a story and you roll with it. But you don't really listen to the details of the story. You don't listen to all the details that you've been given. You just take bits and pieces and just say, well, this is what's going on, woo, woo, woo. I'm not like that. I listen to everything that's been brought to me in a story. It doesn't matter if I like what I'm hearing, because what I have to tell myself is I don't have anything invested. I don't know the people. I'm just listening to what the news source brings me. Could the news make a mistake? Of course. Could the people who talk to the news be lying, fabricating? Of course. That's the point. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what to believe. But I do know from dealing with the state, legal adoptions, all that, once your child has been adopted and the papers are signed, either by the state and the parent or the biological parent forfeiting their rights over to give up their child, you as the biological parent, you do not have any rights to the child. Now, the only person that could come forward is possibly a father who wasn't raising the child. And he could say, hey, I'm the legal father. No one notified me of the situation and or an adoption, foster care. And he possibly could go to court and fight for his child to prove, hey, I'm the biological. I got the DNA to show you. I work, I have a job, and I want my child. And nobody notified me to tell me what was going on. So that's why I made the comment in this video. If two fathers showed up to the scene of these people's homes with the baby mother to talk to the news, why weren't they talking to the news? Why didn't they beforehand step in and raise their children or step in and get one of their relatives to raise the children? I just find that odd. The whole case is backwards. They putting the blame at the wrong person. This wasn't your child. What you saying, Melissa? I don't understand that comment. I got 18 in the chat, 37. My views are going up and down, up and down. But I appreciate you all hanging in there with me and listening to the Queen in 1 hour and 43 minutes I'm in. Like I said, I got on this jukebox tonight to just, let people know, hey, some of you all are wishy-washy and hypocritical. You down people when you hear these stories of them abandoning their children, but then you jump on somebody's Facebook page now because the biological mother's children are missing, and you act like whatever happened with her and the kids didn't matter before. We ain't gonna worry about what you did over here 2-3 years ago with your kids. We just gonna focus on they missing. Like I said, I understand. I understand the children are missing. I understand they're missing from these people's residence or care. I get all of that. All I'm saying is some of you are hypocritical. That when you first hear a story of children being abandoned, mistreated, you go off and go ham on the parent. But why now your attitude is changing because now you hear that they was in adoptive parents' care and now they're missing. And your attitude is it don't matter about what went on with them in the beginning with their mother. Oh, okay, Melissa, I got you. Well, no, I don't have anything to do with the children missing. That's why I'm saying I'm just an outsider living in Tennessee who comes to YouTube to bring you the 411 of the said information or the 211 of a situation going on in the U.S. and abroad. I don't know any of the participants in these storylines that I talk about. I just read you the source, read you what is stated in the source, and I give you my opinion. You either like it or you do not like it, that's fine. You either continue to watch the channel or you do not. You subscribe, unsubscribe, it is your choice. The Queen don't lose no sleep. But hi, Mary Blue, how you doing, baby? but I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not going to sit up here and rally behind people I do not know. And I think a lot of you are blinded by, as they say, blind loyalty to people that you don't even know. You say, well, be objective about the mama, the daddy, the cousin, the pookie, the monkey. Come on with all that. I'm just listening. And I don't jump on a bandwagon and start riding with people that I don't know anything about. Thank you, Tracy. I just don't do that. I don't jump up and just say, oh yeah, this person innocent, this person they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I can't say neither because I don't know nothing. I can give my opinion of what it looks like, how it sounds. It doesn't mean that's what it is. Well, Lady Chi Chi, that's the whole point of the story. She's not going to say on her Facebook page, this is what happened to why my kids were taken from me. I made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. Or I chose the wrong people to watch my children. She's not going to say that. She's just going to say, hey, this is what happened. My children are missing from these people. But why is she going to sit on her Facebook or the news and say, I failed my kids. I didn't comply to the rules. I didn't turn in the paperwork on time. I didn't take the course. I didn't keep a job. I didn't keep a place to live. I didn't follow through with random drug testing. See, y'all don't think about none of that when it comes to how a person would lose custody of the children. You're only focusing on the fact that they're with these people and they're gone. Hey, baby, how you doing, lovely? And you can focus on whatever you choose to. However you want to ride the story, however you want to decipher it, chop it up, what you want to believe of the story, you can do whatever you want because you all are grown. But what you're not going to do is come over here and get in my damn chat and tell me how the hell I should think about a case. Who I should blame and not blame. Hell yeah, I can blame everybody involved. Why can't I? Y'all act like these two kids was born by Martians, that they came down here from a damn space shuttle and some aliens dropped off two little babies and dropped them over here in California City to these people's house. Hey, we're coming from Mars. You want these babies? Bye. Shuttle flies up back into space. That's what you're telling me happened? What the hell? It ain't making no sense. Somebody gave birth to these kids. Somebody lost custody to their kids because the child got a broken bone. The state decided to also take the smaller child. The lady also has two other children. We don't hear where those children are or if they was in the custody at the time when those two were taken. We do not know where those two are. We hear of two baby daddies, but we don't hear no information about nothing pertaining to speaking to the public and or why they didn't step in to try to get the kids, if they were qualified to get the kids. I speak on everything in a story. I don't jump from one end of the spectrum to the other. I bring you all the said information, and then I chop it up into tiny pieces, and I work my way from the bottom to the top. And you may not like the delivery. You may not like what I'm going to say or how I say it. That's your choice. But I'm not going to sugarcoat no damn story. And I don't claim to know everything about what is going on with these people or any other case I talk about. But what I'm going to do is, as I say, chop it up from the bottom to the top and bring you what has been said from the news, a source, what the parents, people, neighbor, friend, donkey, monkey, Pookie, Ray said. Facebook posts, Instagram posts, whatever. Other news sources. I'm going to bring it to you. You make your own decision what you think about the storyline. And perhaps you don't have an opinion. That's on you. But I just think this is an odd case. This is a very odd case of children living with a parent, being taken from the parent, to only be placed in foster care, to then go missing 2 years later. I don't understand how nobody could think that's peculiar. That's odd to me. Because like I said, you hear of all these cases of children being in foster care and adopted by bums and these bums sexually abused them, passed them back to the state. Oh, you ain't never heard of that? Somebody adopting a baby and then wanting to get a baby back. It happens. People have adopted children and called the state shortly after to return the damn kids. I'll wait. Since the Queen don't know what she's talking about. Since the Queen don't know what she's talking about. Yeah. Bet you ain't heard of that, have you? You all didn't know that people who have adopted children have called the state to come pick the damn kids back up. Relinquish their rights as the adoptive parents. A white woman in Canada tried to get rid of her child. Her little black boy she adopted. Tried to sell him. And there's a documentary about it, and you can find it on YouTube. Because that's where I found the story months ago. It's a documentary about a woman, her family, adopting this kid and swore for God he was bad, he was disruptive, blah, blah, blah. She tried to sell the kid. It's that deep. And next thing you know, he gets placed with a loving white family, and he's been living there happily ever after. And this new white family says he's been a joy. His attitude and disposition came into fruition. He ended up turning into a nice young man. They ain't had no trouble out of him, period. So what was the truth with the adoptive family? Because I believe he was a refugee or something from a foreign country, Africa somewhere, to how he ended up getting with the first white family who then decided they don't want him no more. So you see, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you don't read and stay in the know, you don't know what the hell's going on out here. And you surely don't know nothing about the system and the things that go on, as they say, bump in the night. Right. And Melissa, you're right, because that story could have ended up bad too. Who's to say that the people she was trying to sell that little black boy to, they went on and did the exchange, and that black boy could have ended up anywhere, could have ended up dead. That's why I keep trying to tell people, if you don't know really what goes on out here, you can't say. But there are horrible stories pertaining to adoptive and foster care. Yes. And this case may be one of those. Until we get information from the chief of police, what evidence they have gathered, and the FBI pertaining to these little babies. But I got a feeling it is not going to turn well in their favor. I got a funky feeling that the children are no longer living, because we're now going into week 2, that the children were reported missing. It does not look good. And all I'm saying is this is a sad situation of some children being taken from their mother for whatever reason, and then to be placed in foster care, to then be adopted by the same family, to now the children are missing. That's sad to me. So naturally, you hear a story like this, you're curious to how the children got to be in the custody of the West in the first place. And that is the point of my video. How did they get there? Why were they taken? Why are some of you so quick to now act like whatever happened with them before doesn't matter? When if you, as I say, had heard this story and it made the news about the broken leg, you'd be hollering and cussing and saying, well, what happened? What happened? Who kept the baby? What happened with the mama? What kind of mama is she? You would ask all those questions. So all I'm saying in this video, why is it, if this was a national story about the child leg being broke, you'd be curious to who the mother is and what kind of lifestyle she had. Are there other cases of abuse? But because now that with these people are missing, she's null and void. She's not a story. She's irrelevant. What you mean they can't come out their house, Chi? Oops, sorry. Started buffering. Well, one thing I'm going to say about that situation with the vandalism and all that, I don't condone that. Don't mess with them people's houses. Don't do nothing to those people. Leave those people alone. The situation is already dire because we don't know where the children are. We don't have any information from authorities. So don't bust up no windows. Don't bother those people. Don't follow them. Don't get on their Facebook pages. Nothing. Just leave them two people alone. Just leave them alone. Because you're just going to make a situation worse. And you don't need to be bothering them. We know something ain't right. We just don't know what it is as of yet. But bothering those people is not going to help. Vandalizing their property. Why you want to go to jail for vandalizing somebody's windows? Because we don't know where the children are. We are all upset about the children. But vandalizing their property is not going to help the situation. It's not going to bring the children back. You think because you broke out their window, they're going to just jump up and say, okay, I'm going to bring the kids back. I'm going to show you where they are. Trust me, if they did something horrible to them kids, killed them, they don't give a damn. Yeah. Checking all devices in the cars. So right now, I don't know if they've returned their phones and things to them computers, but I know they took some nice amount of things out of their home. Some bags, a duffel bag, and those little, manila envelopes, but it was like the big kind. Like they look like a bag, but it's the paper bag that they gather the evidence in. Oh, you going on Monday? Well, I may jump on tomorrow. It just depends. I'm 1 hour and 56 minutes in. I'm almost at the top of 2 hours. I didn't know how long I was going to be on, but I wanted to get this stuff off my chest because it was bothering me today when I got up. Once I read the comments on another person's channel, and I thought, you people don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about the queen. You don't know anything about how I roll. You don't know anything about my disposition. You don't know anything about my plight in life. You don't know who the hell I am. And I give my opinion either way. You can like it or love it. But I can tell you one thing. The same opinion you don't agree with has served the queen well to stay above this damn ground. Not saying I ain't made no mistakes in my life. Rush to judgment on things. But I know something's funky with this case from the beginning up until right now. That something is dirty in the water. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that, Tracy. Something is dirty in the water pertaining to these missing kids. And it ain't just with the West family. I am curious to what really happened with the children, or at least the oldest child, while living with the mother. I'm curious. God, my nose just keep running. Excuse me. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what happened with these children. The child with his leg, and were there other allegations of abuse or cause? Did the doctors find anything else wrong with this child? Hell, was the child able to walk? Because some of you making comments on pages on people's channels that the leg was fractured. So I'm wondering where that's coming from. Because you got to remember, that was years ago when the child was taken from the mother because of the injury. So I'm wondering, did the leg properly heal? Does the child have a limp? Ask all those questions. That's why I said there's so much to the case itself pertaining to the children that we do not know, because somebody has to be able to bring the said information forward to us about the kids. What is what with this case. And I'm saddened to know that two small babies are missing from an adoptive family's house. I would be just as sad if they were missing from their biological mother's house. It's all the same to me. Two children are missing. And I hate to hear that the children are missing. But I'm just the type of person, I analyze everything. Hey, Katina. I analyze everything. I watch to see what the news has to bring, whoever they bring forward that gives commentary about the case. So it doesn't matter if it was the mother or the father or a grandmother. I'm going to ask questions. What fool would not ask questions about how the children came to be in the custody of these people? What kind of life did they have before? Yes, the pictures of the children that they've been showing on the news with the mother, her Facebook post, the children did appear happy. I'm not going to deny that. They were little fat babies, cute babies, appeared to be happy, appeared to be healthy, but nonetheless, They were taken from the mother. And you cannot deny that, and you can't sugarcoat that. How could you sugarcoat it? That's all I'm saying. Why was they not checked out? What you mean? They check out the families, honey. I've just told you all that in my videos. They check all that stuff out. They do a rigorous plan when you go into foster care. This is what people don't understand if you don't know. Foster care, the people have already been checked out before they're placed with the people. They're not standing outside with signs saying, I want to take care of a kid. When children are placed in foster care, the parents are already signed up with the state to foster the children. When you decide you want to adopt a child, you go through a rigorous background check through the state. They talk to you, they talk to your family, they investigate your relatives. This is what was said in a video from AV News, a YouTube channel holder. They talk to your family, all of that. And I'm not trying to be rude, but anybody with sense should know they're going to investigate you when you want to foster a child. They're going to investigate you if you want to adopt a child. So there was a video uploaded, and there's a woman speaking, an official speaking, saying, we go through rigorous investigations to get the children adopted. We check their background. We check their family members. We investigate their family. We give them a medical assessment. We give them a psychological assessment. They take a psychological questionnaire, which we already know you can fudge it because people have done it for years. Okay. Katina says the 4-year-old looked like he was malnourished. See, I didn't make no judgments on another woman's channel about this case because I can't say if a child was malnourished or not just from a headshot. So I wasn't about to comment and say, yeah, the kids look like they're malnourished. I would prefer to see a video where I can see the child walking, talking, and I can get a picture of, you know what I'm saying, their bone structure, their hands, all that. But I do know these pictures that are surfacing at the moment are the children look very tiny, you know, such as smaller, like younger in age. So I don't know, you know, people are questioning the photographs. One girl on her channel is questioning the photographs. Where are they from? They came from an uncle's page. So did the mother not have recent photos of her children? Why are the photos that's uploaded to the missing persons page the same photos that the uncle had? Did the uncle give the pictures, or did the mother of the children give the pictures? Who gave the photos to the missing persons poster? That's what one lady was questioning. So I don't know. I do know the pictures look like they could be little bitty. They look little, but then who's to say they're not little in stature? Everybody is not going to be big at 3, tall at 4. You understand what I'm saying? Naturally, children run off their baby fat if they stay active. That's another thing I said. So I can't say that the children were malnourished because I haven't seen anything of a full body where I can see your leg, your arms, your feet. You understand what I'm saying? Where I can see your entire body. The pictures I've seen where it's like headshots, so I can't say. Yeah, see, and that's another thing. We can't say it's about the money because you don't get any money for the children. You don't get any welfare money for children you've adopted. Why would the state give you money for adopting the children? I don't know. I'm not going to go on record saying I know anything about that. Now, if you qualify for welfare for your children, yeah, the state will give you money. Now, was she receiving a welfare check for her children? I don't know. That's why I said I don't even know if the parents work, what type of work they do. I can't say. I know California is probably the only state that pays the most in welfare for children. Now that's been known many moons ago that California paid the most money in a welfare check. It so happened this case is in California. Now I think California has given a number of of how many kids they will take care of and provide for. Oh, you said for adopted kids. So Katina said they don't give much money for adopted children. See, that's why I said I don't know, because I didn't research California law before I jumped on, but I might do that before the next video. But like I said, if indeed the mother gets into a situation financial, I don't see the state telling her we're not going to give you welfare if indeed she actually needed money. Do you understand what I'm saying? For her kids. For her kids. Because yes, in foster care, the foster mother, foster father, whomever, gets money for the said children in their care. They do get a check from the government. But as far as the adoption process, if the woman can't take care of her kids, or she couldn't work, unemployed, whatever, however it goes, I can see her going to the state and asking for care. And I can't say if they would give her the money or not give her the money. I'm just saying I can't see them denying her funds for those children if she needed the money and she qualified to get the money. Now, do they have a stipulation of how long it'll be before they would give her welfare after shortly adopting a child? I do not know. Right. So the little boy couldn't hear. He was deaf, obviously. So you're right. I could see her getting care. You know, they was getting medical benefits for the children, probably through the state, because you have to use common sense. You don't have a high up income. How are you going to feed the kids? That's first and foremost. Children that young and infants need milk, diapers, toiletries. They got to get vaccinations. They got to go to the clinic or pediatrician. That costs. If your child needs to see a specialist, that costs. X-rays, that costs. You get your blood drawn, that costs. Everything they do at the hospital, the doctor's office costs. From the moment you step foot in the doctor's office, nothing is free. And it doesn't matter if it's you paying directly, your health insurance paying, or the state is paying. Somebody has to pay the due bill. And this heifer had 6 kids in her custody, allegedly. So you think in your right mind what it costs to take care of 6 children in the richest state in the union, besides the state of Connecticut. Oh, Queen knows her knowledge. Connecticut and California are the richest states in the union. California has more millionaires in the state than any state in the union. So we also know it's the highest living in America in the state of California. So think about 6 kids being taken care of with regular okie doke jobs in a state where it costs a lot to live. The mortgages are high. The rent is high. Come on now. You know damn well that heifer was probably getting some assistance from the state to take care of all 6 children. Because they have yet to say what the father does for a living. Don't you find that odd? All the news stories, ain't nobody said he's a trucker, a tree trimmer, a garbage man. That's why I said I need to go back to the beginning of the news clip. I just put up the first article, which was this one about the 20,000 reward. I want to let you all know about that. And I have said nothing about that, and I apologize. There is a reward for the children, $20,000 for any information leading to the discovery of the children. And like somebody said, law enforcement, it's sad that you got to put up a reward to get information about some kids. They have 6 children, Tracy. 2 are missing. 2 adopted children are missing. 2 are adopted, and 2 are their own. That totals 6 kids. The West only have 2 biological children, 2 adopted children, and 2 are currently missing, which is a total of 6 children that were in their custody. Where are the 2 little boys? I have no idea. I have an earthly idea where these children are. And I don't know what to say about any of these people involved in this case. This is a very weird, wicked case. Well, Tracy, You asking the wrong one, honey. All I know is a statement that they have given the news, the father and the mother, of being in the backyard, the kids playing in the backyard. He went to get firewood. He went back in, came back out. They were gone. Channel 17 News says uh, they went out and looked for the kids allegedly, couldn't find them. They made a report at 6 o'clock. A report was given to the news by 8. Now, people, the baby's mother, and I meant to say this earlier in the video, see, it's so much to remember. The baby mother speaks to the news and tells them that it was supposed to be 4:30 or 5 that he was looking for the kids. And why did it take him till 9 to report the children missing? So see, there's conflict right there. Because the Channel 17 source says she called at 6, stating the children were missing. And it didn't get into the database of the children missing or publicly till 8 p.m. So I don't know if say the news is lying, but the baby mother is saying what was told to her was 4:30 or 5. He was out looking or noticed the children were gone. Then they went looking, it started getting dark, so then they called the authorities. But Channel 17 says the phone call goes in at 6 o'clock p.m., which by then it would have been dark. And the police didn't give out the information to the public till 8. But the baby mother's on the news saying the children went missing around 4:35. And that they didn't call police until 9. But the news says the call came in at 6. So where's the baby mother getting her information? And who's telling her this? And what is the truth with that? Because see, now that's conflicting information. That's why I keep telling people, you don't know what to believe. You don't know who to believe what. Anybody making up anything because they're mad or angry because the children are gone. So you don't know what to believe. That's why I tell people, you can't jump on somebody's channel trying to tell them how the hell they should think when the hell don't nobody know what the hell's going on. You said I worked all my life, fishy. Well, that's my point. My thing is, this is a dire situation. Look, Melissa said you got to pay for the air you breathe in the hospital. Well, that's the thing. For people that don't know that, you ain't never been sick, you ain't never got a doctor bill. They charge you for everything at the doctor's office and the hospital. If they give you Tylenol, ibuprofen, you get charged per pill. You get charged per pill. You get an x-ray in that bad boy, you get charged for the x-ray. Any medicines they give, they charge you. It ain't no free ride to be sick. The ambulance charges separately because they are not in cahoots with the hospital, their own separate entity. So if you have to call 911 and you cannot pay, you are due a bill by the ambulance company. And that's been so much fraudulent mess going on with the ambulance companies in the U.S. We're not even about to talk about that. But just saying, everything costs pertaining to being sick. I've got 29 in the chat, 42 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you all joining me. Even you haters, thank you. Because what you don't know, guess what? The queen is highly favored. The queen is highly favored. She's not worried about nothing over here. I ain't worried about nothing y'all talking about. Because I will give my opinion. You either like it or you don't. Doesn't matter to me. Yes, hit the like button. I always tell people, let them listen to the commentary because sometimes you may hit the like button coming in and then realize, I don't like what she's talking about. So then you got to unlike it. But you understand what I'm saying? Listen to what a person has to say before you, jump off and judge. That's why I said when that guy came in here running his mouth, or whoever that was with that KPRI TV, whoever you are, you don't run nothing over here at the Queen's channel. I think what I want to think. I'll say what I want about everybody involved. I can say what I want. Haters make you greater. Amen, Lady Chichi. You got that right. I'm just the type of person, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm not about to sit here and sugarcoat a story that's wicked and whack from the jump. I'm not going to sit here and just focus on the parents who have custody of the child. I'm going to start at the beginning. That information was given to us. The children have a living biological mother. They have living biological fathers that has been revealed. So why would I not talk about who brought the children here? Okay, baby. I got your back, Tracy. God got it, baby. You're going to be all right. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Yeah, I've always been that way. I listen to what people say. It doesn't matter right now. If somebody walked in this apartment and started talking to me about something they went through. Eventually, I'm going to ask you questions about what you just said to me. I'm not just going to sit here and let you spin me no record and then I don't ask you nothing about what you just said. The only way I wouldn't ask you if I just didn't give a damn about what you were talking about. Are we doing vibe tonight? I don't know, Katina. I just jumped on tonight early because I wanted to get this off my chest, how I was feeling about, everybody being so hypocritical about the mother, not wanting nobody to say nothing bad about her in the situation. And somebody commenting crazy to me about, I don't know, the CPS and they crooked and they this. Well, I can't judge CPS because I don't even know what actually happened. So why the hell am I going to get mad at CPS? Let me think about that for a minute. You want me to get mad at CPS when I don't even know what was in their documents, how long they've been investigating the case, what they found in the medical report, what the judge said, what the mama didn't do, how the mama was living at the time when the child got hurt, who kept the child. Why the hell am I just going to sit up here and act like none of that took place because the kids now live over here with these two people and got taken? But I ain't supposed to ask no questions about how the hell they got from point A to point B. I can ask what I want to ask. Only a person insane wouldn't be questioning what happened at point A to get to point B. Like I said, I don't know what happened directly with the children and the mother. What happened over there? But you have to admit it's funky there as well. Well, that's okay, baby. You just rest and drink. I don't think you can drink no hot tea, but you just get you some rest, Tracy. We'll be praying for you, honey. But I'm just that type of person. I dissect everything that's given to me. Whatever news is available to me, I dissect the storyline. I look and read. I start to ask questions. I may never get the answers. We may never get the answers to the questions that we ask in our heads. You all always ask questions. When you go on any channel right now, Facebook page, you're going to always see somebody asking a question. Where do people live? How long they had a kid? Do they got other kids? What happened to the baby mama? What happened to the baby father? Why they didn't have nowhere else to stay? Why did the state not let them live with anybody? Why did they take them away from the other family? What planet are you people from? That you think the people are not going to ask any damn questions about the damn kids and what went on with their mother? I just think you all are hypocrites out here. I just think you're hypocrites. You don't want to accept the fact that something went on with that mother for them to get over here with these people. But had you heard this story on the news about the mama and the children being abused, you'd be talking bad about her. But now that it's an issue of them being placed over here, you want to pretend that ain't nothing happened over here for them to get taken to get over here. Did I make that clear? Okay. Leave it alone. Thank you, Melissa. You said it. They want to pick and choose what's relevant. Oh my God, you said that right. Thank you, Video Chimp. She says, I'm keeping it real. Thank you. I mean, I just don't understand. But to me, you know what? All the Facebook posts that I read this morning pertaining to the baby mother and people praying for her, telling her past don't matter. We don't care why they took your kid. I was stunned. I said, you know what this reminds me of? If this ain't Camille McKinney all over again with the, I don't care about what the mama did. I don't care that the mama left her child outside for long periods of time. I don't care. It's them two that took the kid. Well, we know what the two did was wrong. Ain't nobody saying molesting a child, drugging a child, and dumping in a dumpster is right. But how did she get to the point of being kidnapped? That's all I'm saying. I start at the beginning of a story. I don't jump in the middle and try to diffuse how a child got to be in a predicament in the first place. Because you see, we wouldn't have any of these stories if there wasn't a predicament in the first place. Well, they saying they was with somebody, but then the state decided that wasn't the best solution or best fit or whatever. The girl said on Facebook, the sister. So they took the child out of their care and took them to the West House. So see, I don't know if when the child got taken out to custody, if they went directly to a family member's house. See, that's another question. I don't know if they went directly to the family member's house or if they went directly to the West House and stayed in foster care, and were the kids taken back from the West House to a family member, and then the family member wasn't deemed the best fit, so then they took them from that to the back to the West. I don't know, because that's why I tell you, nobody's explaining nothing about the beginning of the story, which is the children being hurt, the first child being hurt. Did they get to the West House out the gate, or did they go to a family member first when the judge said, you can't keep your child? Do you have somebody to take the child? So did the relative step up and get the child after the judge said the mother couldn't keep the baby? And I'd like to know why CPS felt like her family was not a good fit for the child to stay there. Don't nobody find that odd? The lady just says on Facebook, well, a new social worker came on scene all of 5 minutes and said she didn't think it was the best interest of the child to stay with the family. That just seems strange to me. Well, yeah, I remember all that, Melissa, about Cupcake's name. She didn't want to mention the child's name and give the name. But see, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that she says, not even the deadbeat daddies, I'm done. Well, see, Chi-Chi, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of a story. You don't know everything. And if nobody is willing to speak up to tell you, this is why this, and this happened. This was the alternative. This is what we went and did over here. Here are the receipts. How do we know? How do we know that anybody stepped up to take care of these children? How do we know the mother complied with the state to do what she had to do to get her kids back? Why did the kids get taken from the second person's house that's related and taken to the West House to foster care? You don't find that strange? But I ain't supposed to ask that, because that's irrelevant. That's not the point. That's what you people on Facebook and around the world are saying. We don't care that the kids got taken from the mother. We don't care what happened to the kids. We don't care about the broke leg. We don't care if he was abused. We don't care if he was constantly abused. We just want to know what they did to the babies over here. Well, I'll be damned. I'm glad you live in a bubble, because I don't. I want to know all the information that's been given and allotted. And I'm curious to any information. Melissa says they're all to blame. They're adults that need to act like it. Well, it's too late for that now, honey, because the children are missing. It's too late. See, that's the point I'm trying to make, that nobody is grasping. Maybe some of you get what I'm saying, some of you don't. You have to have a beginning. And a beginning is what led us to where we are now with 2 missing children. And whatever you did or did not do, be it the mother, the fathers, the West, it's too late now. You can't go back. So whatever you meant to do with your children, Miss Ryan Dean, it's null and void at this point. Whatever the baby daddy's meant to do, it's null and void at this point. Whatever the family did or didn't do, to step up, not comply, whatever, it's null and void. And whatever the West did to these children, if indeed they harmed the children allegedly, it's null and void at this point. Well, that's the whole point, Melissa. Everybody want to talk bad about CPS, but my point is this. Every case is different. Every situation is different. Every person working the case is different. We know that Department of Human Services around America are short with staff. They don't have adequate people staffing the offices. They don't have people staffing offices now. Even right now, you don't just go into the office if you want to get food stamps. You got to call somebody on a 1-800 number. That's what they were doing years ago. It's not like how it was because nobody wants to go into that field. They don't pay you anything to be a social worker. They don't have adequate staff to go out to the field and investigate child abuse allegations. They don't have people working for them because nobody wants the damn job. They don't pay anything. So they're understaffed. So they're not going to rush out what I've been trying to tell you because they hear Pookie been abusing their baby. Do you know how many people have had the state come to their house or investigate or got calls on them? Lots of people get calls and they do not take their children. Because for one, they're going to investigate to see. Not saying they're going to do it right. But a lot of times, let it stack up. And some of the kids are in dire need. But if you don't have nobody that's going to come out and look thoroughly in the homes, the sheds, the gardens, the ones who are actually being harmed, they slip through the crack. Ayana, I don't know, honey. You know I don't know about YouTube, maybe notifications. You know this network is retarded. I don't know what they be doing. Sorry about that. Some of y'all don't get notifications. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But what I'm saying is this. There's nothing surefire in the world because man runs everything. Woman runs everything. So nothing is going to be for sure. Nothing is going to be accurate. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to shuffle paperwork around. People are going to ignore paperwork. People are going to sign off on things without thoroughly investigating it. People are going to make mistakes. And that's why I said with this case, I do not know all the intricate details with the mother and this West family, but it's messed up, jacked up all the way around. This is a bad case of children being taken from their parent and then given to these people for foster care, and then they adopted the kids. Now the damn kids are missing. It's messed up. It's messed up. It's just a messed up situation. It's horrible. And I want those kids found. But like we say, hell, if the children are found, this is just like with the cupcake situation. If the children found, where they going? Our way. See, don't nobody never think about that either. You're so busy jumping on people's channel trying to tell them how to think and how they should feel about this one and that one. Where would the children go if they were found? I'll wait. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till y'all put a comment in the chat and tell me where the hell these kids would go if they were found. I hear Jeopardy music playing. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Da, 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 da. Boing. Yeah, back into foster care. Back into the system. Thank you. Thank you. Since you're going to tell me what the hell I can say about the mother and this and that, if the children are alive right now, if the children were possibly sold to somebody and they actually have these children, they can locate the children. For all you smart ducks out there, where would they go if they were found alive? Who would step up and say, I want the children? Me. I'm fit. I'm fit to take the kids. Seriously. Where would the children go if they were found tonight? Where would the state take them? Don't nobody think when they talk. You just jump up, you're running to Facebook, you're running to YouTube channels, commenting. You don't even think about what you're saying. You don't think about the information that's been given to you. You don't think about how the children got in this situation in the first place. You don't think. I'm praying they found alive. I'm praying. What are you actually praying for? Because you see, if you're praying for them to be alive, that's a good thing. But what are you praying for them to go to if they're found? Where the hell are they going? Why ain't some of y'all to realize that a lot of these people don't want no fucking kids? You see, you think because somebody gave birth to a baby that they came to the realization while mothering that they like being a mother. Perhaps they don't. Maybe they're not fit. Maybe they're having mental problems, financial problems. Maybe they're in a bad situation. Maybe they don't like the kid. They don't even like the baby. You think because somebody doll a baby up, put hair bows on them, that mean they care about their kids, then you really ain't lived long enough to know what cruelty is. You see, because you buy your children name brand clothes, don't mean you love your kids. Okay? Because you buy $100 Jordans to put on a child's foot does not mean you love your child. You put her in pretty hair bows, but really you might detest your baby. You might hate your baby because you see, hello Katina, you got issues with the baby daddy. You mad because something happened with you and he, and now you take it out on your children. You may like your child for all of 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes dissipates, you sick of looking at that baby. He or she reminds you of that stinking ass baby daddy. Yeah, the queen gonna go there. Because see, I can give you something that you ain't used to. It's called the truth. You don't know anybody out here, and you don't know what people feel about themselves, and you don't know what they feel about their children. And when I talk to you all eye to eye, I speak to you from experience. That's why can't nobody come over here to Everyday Shenanigans and tell the queen about nothing pertaining to no fucking parents. Many people raise children they don't want. Many people take in kids and don't want them. Many people foster parents and don't want them. Don't make me testify up here. For those of you that jump on and think you know what the fuck you talking about. Some people taking foster kids just to get checked. They get a nice little piece of money to take in foster kids for some of you dodo birds out there that think you know every damn thing. And they're the same ones that don't feed them, don't clothe them, lock them in the closet, lock them in the basement. Ain't nobody seen them. The neighbor ain't seen them. Oh, yeah, he was coming and going and running in the yard. Oh, I ain't seen them kids in 6 months. Oh, I ain't seen them. Now they ain't talking to their family, friends, because they know somebody gonna ask, hey, where that baby at? Hey, where them kids at? Hey, you ain't posting their pictures on Facebook? You people need to wake up. You living in a bubble. You don't want to expect the worst from people. So you want to sugarcoat shit when you hear it on the news. You think this is an accident that we are talking about 2 missing kids? This was ordained. Think about the information. God knew where these kids were going to end up when the mammy laid down and made them. And this sounds cruel, but it's the truth. God knew the fate of these kids. He knew they didn't stand a chance in the womb. So don't tell me about what I can say about somebody's fucking baby mama. I'll say what I want to say. Because 2 babies are missing. For those of you in the back, twiddling your hair like you're educated and you know shit. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about the system. You ain't never been in the system. You been a foster care kid? Have you? Have you had your parents not want you? You people are stupid because you think you know every damn thing. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know shit. Ain't nobody said the system was right. But if you ain't never been shuffled around from house to house, you don't know. Do you know how bad it is to be a black baby in America? Them babies go from house to house. You ignorant bastards that think you know every fucking thing. A black baby's got a worse chance of being placed up for adoption in America. People don't want 6-year-olds. They don't want 8-year-olds. They want infants because they want somebody they can mold. At 3 and 4, you have an identity. You know how to tell people no, shut up, leave me alone. So don't tell me what the fuck was going on with their mama, and don't tell me you know what the fuck was going on with the West. You don't know what was going on with none of these people. You think these kids just ended up over there by accident. Wake up. You can't blame CPS for every fucking thing. You don't know what the mama was doing. That heifer could have been getting high. She could have been smoking blunts around her kids. She could have been doing all kind of crazy stuff. How do you know? How you know she don't leave her kids unattended? How you know she didn't have somebody in the house who got high, drank, like to play video games, stand outside and smoke, do stuff while the kids unattended? You don't know. Because you're not there. You weren't there when the kids lived with the mama. We weren't there when they got took to these crazy people here. That's what I'm trying to make you all understand. You don't know. So you can't get mad at people when they get on their platform and tell you. You got to start at the beginning. The kids didn't just end up here by accident. Fuck is wrong with you people? You fucking know it. I think y'all know every fucking thing. You don't know shit. You think if somebody got kids, it's hard raising kids. And it's even worse, you ain't got no fucking help. And I don't condone nobody abusing no kids. But it's hard, you don't got no help. And every day you see these kids going to foster care. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck that they putting you on the couch to sleep, knowing you need to be in a fucking bed. Don't make me tell it. Not feeding the kids. Locking them up. And that's the sad thing. The kids get took from one situation, and maybe it wasn't that bad where they were. I don't know. But like I said, it's the CPS and the judge who made the decision. I don't have nothing to do with that. But then they got took to these people. And that's the moral of this story. We don't know everything about who, what, where, and why. But the shit stinks on both parts. And I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. You don't have to like it. Because some of you have been fortunate to have good lives. You ain't had no problems with CPS. You ain't had no problems with the police. So you don't know what people go through. And yes, people make mistakes. I know people make mistakes. When you're young, you're going to make mistakes. I don't want you all to think I'm such a hard nose that I ain't never fucking lived. But what I'm saying is, everything has a start. And you can't ignore that. You can't ignore the beginning of those two babies' lives. They didn't get to the West house by accident. Stay woke. Because this ain't the last story you're going to hear about a baby mama and CPS. This will never be the last story you hear about a baby mama, grandmama, auntie, uncle, adoptive parent, foster care, and CPS. While I'm raising hell on YouTube, somebody's abusing a baby. Somebody is touching a baby, fondling a baby, locking them up, not feeding them, leaving them alone, drugging them, raping them, putting them in a plastic bag to discard them. You better stay woke. This is just the beginning. It ain't gonna never end. Ain't you done figure that out? This ain't gonna never end. This ain't gonna end till the Almighty says, I'm sick of y'all. And I'm getting ready to break up the earth. And let it be done. Because you won't do right and you ain't gonna act right. I'm out of here. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the support. Thank you, TG, for being in the chat. TG, reach out to me. BigSexy71 on Instagram. I love all of you. God bless you. I want to thank you all for everything. And know that when I come to you real and I come to you authentic. You either ride the ride or you get off. I don't have no problems with it. But I want to thank all of you. God bless you. COVID is real. Mask up. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.